This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, who shall be held accountable for the family structure? All right. Now, before people say, oh, we talked about this before, yes, we did. So I'm going to go ahead and say it again, and I'll continue to say it. Out of one conversation comes another, and from one topic starts another one. All right. So if it sounds like something that we talked about, it's because the conversation is continuous. So let's get to it. All right. So there's this saying where they say, whoever owns the family is responsible for shaping the future of the family. Y'all got that? So simply put, there's great responsibility falling on the heads of the head of the family. Sort of like when they talk about kingdoms, royalty, and people just given positions of power. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown. And shameless plug, we have a nice design and Emporium Plus .org that states just that. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, but I call upon my sisters to keep me 10 toes down. All right. So let's get to it. Oh, and before we do that, and Robin, where can we find that shirt?
It's getting cold outside. I don't think you want to get a t-shirt. You should be looking towards a sweatshirt and perhaps with a hood on it. You can find these fashions and more at emporiumplus.org. And be forever still a man. AOP and Adoptive Parish Ladies First and SOS support our sisters. Sorry for the interruptions, but go grab you something.
All right, and we do have those what's the name, that design that I spoke of on sweatshirts as well as t-shirts and long sleeves. So you got to go check it out. All right, so let's get started with this. Dude, this is your topic. So I guess dude basically
Eat them a joint this too, by the way, big dog. My fault.
All right. Welcome. So dude brought this up and during one of our other conversations, and then we had a conversation just he and I briefly about this, and I told him he was gonna put on the schedule, and brings us to today. All right, so question number one: who shall head up the family? Who shall head up the family, and who shall be both held accountable and responsible for the family structure? Let's go to the ladies first because I want to get their opinion. So guys, please hold your responses, your rebuttal until the ladies finish. And please do try not to present a question before anybody is finishing answering the question at hand, the initial question. Okay, that being said, and let me go ahead and put a disclaimer on this. The views of the panel members are their views, and they're entitled to their opinions, but they no way represent the views of the platform or the host. All right, that being said, let's go to the ladies first. Okay, we got Patsy, we got Itima, and we got Kiana. We're gonna go with Patsy first. Patsy, who should be the head of the family, and who should be held accountable for the family structure? That's question one.
Given that there's so many family dynamics, if it's a two-family household, two-parent household, um, both parties should be agreeing on who it should be. Like obviously the father, it should be head of household, the head of the structure. And given on different situations, the mother can be more on taking on responsibility of the children and making sure everything's in order, and but there should be good communication between the two. And then but then on another scenario, if it's a single parent household, it's all the responsibility and everything in the structure is put on that single parent, whether it's the father, the mother, whichever is in that scenario. So yeah, but everything it has to work together, and especially for a two parent family, and then just to allot certain responsibilities to the kids and giving them chores and stuff like that. But as a parent, you should be monitoring everything your children are doing, But ultimately, both parents are responsible for the household and different things within the household, but ultimately the father should be the head.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking for. I was get you a precise, specific answer. All right, so let me simplify this, ladies and gentlemen. Should the man or woman be head of household? Let me present it to you like that. Same question. I'm just simplifying it using less words. Itama, it's on you, beloved. Should the man or woman be head of the household?
So the man is supposed to be the head of the household, but in any occasion where, things don't work out and this woman has to be on her own, then she becomes the head of the household. But for sure, it's the man of the household. The man is supposed to be the head of the household, period.
Okay. Duchess? Kiana, you gotta turn your mic on.
Yes.
Who should be head of the household? Should it be man or woman?
Oh, shit.
I'm really not in the mood for this conversation. I don't care who's head of the household, as long as the household is ran.
Okay. Ran.
Oh, good answer. I respect that.
All right, Timmy, you seem like you're ready to go. So if that's all the ladies, let's go to the gentlemen now. Timmy, who should be head of the household, men or women? Man or woman? The man or the woman?
See, some men don't know how to be leaders, so they are followers. And then there are women who are great leaders.
Okay. Let me get Robert's perspective. Robert, should the man or the woman be head of the household? You gotta turn your mic on.
You hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, we all know back in time, man was the one working. Man was the one known as the provider and setting his house in order. But as time went on, women they stepped out of that role that we was so comfortable of seeing them in, and they started working and they started producing money. So all of the head of the household role, it leaned over to them, and they do most of the work in the household currently. So I would say whoever's qualified, whoever's able to get their apartment, whoever's able to get order in their family or some structure, they're the ones should be head of household. Just because you got money don't mean that you're ready to take care of a household. So it could be man or woman, but you tend to see women head of household more than the man.
Uh, Mr. Lacy, same question. Should the man or the woman be head of the household?
Because we're a conquered people, this question kind of took me like on a timeline journey where today it's like chaos. And then listen to the different scenarios. I'm about to tell you some real stuff. Today it's like chaos. You don't know who's gonna run the household. A little bit further back when it was kings and queens, they didn't even raise their kids. They had royal subjects raise their kids. The king probably went off the wall. The mother was handling business at home, doing whatever she had to do in the castle. You get what I'm saying? And then
He's having affairs.
hunters and gatherers was like a community. We lost that aspect of things. You had the men that went out to go get the food and stuff. You had the women stay back to teach the children and gather the plants. It was like a system, because if you have the women that are smart to the plants and stuff, they're gonna implant that into the kid, implement that into the kids anyways, so they can learn the trees and the bushes and the berries they eat. You get what I'm saying? And then
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
they're going out to hunt and gather, they can give a little knowledge to their kids too, from learning that from the women at the start base, because they're the ones that was nurturing the kids. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of chaos now, because we have people involved. We're a conquered people. We have a government, and they're involved in almost every aspect of our lives.
Sean, same question. Should the man or the woman be head of the household?
Because of my belief in my upbringing, I believe that the man should be the head of the household, because he should be able to establish and implement some structure for the family to follow.
It's a beautiful answer. All
That
right,
is that's true.
Damon, it's on you.
So the reason I brought this topic up, because I don't see it myself, but I see it spiritually, but in physically I really don't see it, because like when it comes to our relationships out of everybody else's in the world, it's like ours is painted bad. It's like we treat we treat ours the
Women.
worst, and
Yeah.
our women are the worst and our men are the worst. But I don't see our women acting. No, see what it is that we did. This is not our nature, and we did take on their identity, so we are kind of acting like them. But of course, we're the ones promoted and put out there. Just like with everything else you see, they tell you we're the most violent people. They put us as the most violent, but you're gonna look on the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even in the top two. And just like with the DEI thing we were just talking about, they say, oh, we're the ones benefit from it. Well, we're number 7 on the list, and the white women are number 1 on the list. So they do the
Yeah.
same the relationships. And I don't know where the disconnect is, because I don't see our men treating their women, our women, any worse than what the other everybody else does. And if they do it, it's because we lost our way. We know we're broken people, and the reason why we're
Mm-hmm.
broken people, because we lost order. We lost
Yeah.
order. And it's not about this one's trying to be the boss of me and this one's trying to be. It's about order. It doesn't. I want to tell you how much I respect order. Before, when I was a Christian and I believed that the Jewish people were the God's chosen people, every time I came across, because the Bible says you treat these people with respect, I treated them with respect because the Bible told me, because I love my God and I treated them. But when I found out the truth, it's like, hold the fuck up. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? See, it's about order. You know what I'm trying to say? I followed that order because I believed at the time, not doing my own study and believing that those were the people. But I believed in God's words. I followed. It's not about how I feel about something. It's not what I think about something. It's about what I'm supposed to do. And a lot of people get loved, interpreted, and they get it wrong and they get it twisted because it's not about romance. It's not about what the sparkles and the glitters for doing. It's what you're doing. It's what you're doing to prosper and what you're doing to grow that marriage and that family and where you're leading that family. And everything we are the natural people of this earth, so everything is in harmonized with us. And the reason why the world is chaotic because our people are chaotic. Once our people get in line, the whole world will get in line. And the reason why everything is going on the way it is now, it's because we're waking up. But we are strong together. I don't know where the disconnect between the men and
you right, Jim.
Our women. I know where it came from, but it's that this is a world of information. If the men and women can't see the trickery that has caused us to be this way towards each other and realize this is all bullshit and trickery, what are we doing here? Because all our black women ain't like this and all our black men ain't like this. It's up to me to go find and see if I'm discerning to find the right one for me. And I'm going to give you a good. I always had an ideal of what I had in a woman. I got 3 babies mama, 2 babies mamas, and a wife. And if you meet all three of them, they know how to take care of home. They know how to take care of a house. It's like I saw these qualities in them.
And they act like grown women. They're not envy. They're not envy of one another.
And exactly. And I'll tell you, like I said, in order to grow, you got to know your faults. And the reason I didn't last with the first one is because that was all me. I'm from a broken home, no structure. I'm this everywhere. So I don't even know about myself, let alone trying to build and raise a family and be in love with somebody. So that was all on me. The second one I knew what to do. The second one I knew what to do when I was ready for it, but she was like how I was in the first one. So I got to take my own medicine. You see what I'm saying? So now when the third time came, I was well equipped and I was ready. There's still going to be hurdles, but the Most High prepared.
And she was different from the other two. She was willing to ride with you and go through the struggles and prosper after the fact.
And no, not only that, because I don't want to take nothing from them. I don't want to take nothing from them either. It's what I'm saying is it's not only just that, is that the first one would have been fine for me as well too. It was me who messed that one. It's not that the other one, the first one was a ride or die for. That was all me. You know what I'm trying to say? If there was other way around, I would have left myself a long time ago.
Tanya, should the man or the woman be head of the household?
God should be the head of the household. Short and sweet.
Okay. Bird, same question. Should the man or the woman be head of the household?
Well, I'm going to be the true believer, and I guess the true person that believes the man definitely, as a protector and a provider, should be the man of the household. But understanding that, you need to understand that the woman is the neck, right? The woman by nature is the neck that moves the head. That woman that motivates that man, that makes sure that man's eating, his clothes are right, everything he has to do to go out and protect and provide. So on the low, the woman is the true head of the household. The woman gets the kids up, feeds the kids, bathes the kids, clothes the kids, discipline the kids till the daddy get home. But you as a real woman, you gotta let the man lead. Even when he's leading the wrong way, you're there to clean it up and make sure it's right. So I believe the man should run the household, but the true head of that house is the woman.
Birds. No doubt. Basically, you almost gave the exact answer I gave earlier, but I just was in a little bit more detail. But I told you guys, currently, women is running all households. Men supposed to do it, but statistics shows that men have dropped the ball when women start working.
No, that's not what happened. That's not.
So we're gonna go to the ladies now. the question is, Bird, you gave a nice, always, I can count on you, give a segue to the next question. Is it necessary for the man to be both provider and protector in the family structure? Itima, you're up first.
But again, like I said before, if the woman, you know what I mean, ends up being a single woman, then she would have to be the person doing all that. But at the end of the day, yes, this man has to be, he's the head of the household. He has to provide all these things for his family.
Like it. See that? Let's everybody else follow suit. All right. Duchess, are you still with us?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Key. Same question. Is it necessary for the man to be both provider and protector in the family structure?
Say that again.
Is it necessary for the man to be both protector and provider as it relates to the family structure?
He should be. Not everybody's protecting or providing, so it is what it is.
Okay. Patsy, same question.
Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Is it happening? No.
Okay.
That's it.
Like it. Tanya, same question.
That Patsy, that was good.
Tanya?
I'm gonna say no, it's not necessary because some households doesn't have a man in it.
What doesn't have a man in it?
Some households, she said.
Some households.
Some households are being led by women and not men. So
She's
if
right.
you want to say, should the head of the household be the provider and protector? I would say yes. If the man was the head of the household, then yes, he should be provider and protector.
All right. Timmy, two minutes or less. Is it necessary for the man to be both protector and provider as it relates to the family structure?
Well, in the 60s and 70s, and you can say in the 80s as well, the men were missing. So the women had no way of providing for their kids, so they had to go on welfare, which made them head of household.
Okay. Bert, same question. Is it necessary for the man to be both protector and provider as it relates to the family structure?
If we're talking strictly in the family structure, not single parent, single mom, we're talking two-parent home, household, right? That is the man's natural role by nature is to provide, protect. The mother is there to nurture and guide the troop. Meaning the troop is the man too. She's guiding that man, but that man's sole responsibility, first and foremost, is to protect and provide. Not be your friend, not be your equal, not be your peer. Most likely, 10 out of 10 times, that head of household, that man in the house, is the villain. And the villain, I say, he's the bad guy because he sets order, as dude so eloquently repeated over and over again about order. You're not always going to like order. You're not always going to like what's being imposed in the household by that protector. But in the midst of it now, if your ways are malice and your ways are hurtful, then no, then, but if your ways are true, blue, protect and provide, you're not going to like that man all the time. Daddy's going to be a piece of shit some days because you can't go out with your friends or you can't get these pair of sneakers because bills got to get paid. Things got to get prioritized in the household. So that villain has to be protect and provide.
Robert, same question. Is it necessary for the man to be both protector and provider as it relates to the family structure?
I really would like to answer this question, but I don't even know what's the right answer to it or the wrong answer.
Okay, Gregory. Is it necessary for the man to be both provider and protector as it relates to the family structure?
Yeah, I agree with Bird. And I was just gonna say it's necessary for the women to have those qualities too, because the man needs to have the nurturing guidance too. If y'all separate, if you come to a point where y'all separate, it's about the holy union, right?
And in the nature of man leaves, we're not even in that position of a man leaving. That's not even like the scenario of the family structure. It's man and woman. That's it.
Sean, it's on you. Is it necessary for the man to be both protector and provider as it relates to the family structure?
In my opinion, yes. And he can do those things with the assistance of his helpmate.
Okay, like it. Simple, right to the point. That's what we need. Do same question.
Yo, yeah, I agree with both Bird and Sean.
Okay. All right, ladies, thank you for being patient. We're gonna come right back to you right now, Kiana. The question is, if a man fails to provide shelter, food, clothing, and financial support, should he be cast out of the home and replaced by another man?
I mean, it depends on his circumstances. I mean, is it because he's lazy? Then he needs to be cast out. Is it because of an injury or illness? Then no. But if he's lazy,
Still
put his
think,
ass out like Dino on Flintstones.
Good
keep
answer.
your pie.
Good answer. Patsy, if a man fails to provide shelter, food, clothing, and financial support for his family, should he be cast out of the home and replaced by another man?
Cast out, definitely, and it depends on who's replacing that man. If I'll stay by myself until I figure it out, the next guy. But definitely, if you ain't helping the household, then bye. Hit the bricks.
Itima, you still with us? Turn your mic on, beloved. Same question.
I feel like we got less tolerance now as women, but really what it should be is that you should give a person a chance, to redeem themselves, to be able to show and to be able to do what they can, the stuff that you need for the person to provide. If that person doesn't come through, then yeah, you have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tanya, the question is on you.
If the family structure is the way that it's supposed to be, which is seek thee the kingdom first, all else will fall into place, meaning God is the head, then the man, then the woman. If all of that is in place and then the man is falling on hard times, then you extend grace and mercy.
Okay. Little bit of scripture. Bird, same question. If the man fails to provide shelter, food, clothing, and financial support for his family, should he be cast out and replaced with another man?
I'm agreeing in like what everybody had pieces of this conversation or this question was. Basically, he could have fallen on hard times. He could have, you know what I mean? It's hard out there for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent. So, especially the black man had a hard time maintaining work, keeping money coming in, but that wasn't due to laziness. So, I think under the circumstance would be the decision whether he be cast away or in the real family with a real woman and a real man, that woman is going to try to step up and make things do with what they got.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like it. Gregory, if a man fails to provide shelter, food, clothing, and financial support for his family, should he be cast out of the home and replaced by another man?
I mean, once again, this all just sounds like chaos and the breaking of a union. You get what I'm saying? So it's all about selfish ways that they got us living in since we're a conquered people.
Sean, same question.
Excuse me. I'm with Bird and the other members of the panel that said that it depends on the circumstance. Like, although he may not be providing food, shelter, this and the other, what other aspects is he bringing to the table, or is he just being a flat out disrespectful, no good for nothing, like just really not doing anything,
Anything, right.
you know? So I don't know if he needs to be replaced by anybody, but the bigger question for me is, do we need to be removed?
Good answer. Dude, same question.
Ask the question again because I'm driving. One more time. My bad.
Okay. If a man fails to provide shelter, food, shelter, food, clothing, and financial support for his family, should he be cast out of the home and replaced by another man?
Well, that depends on what he's doing in the process. And what I mean by doing in the process, because it's supposed to be through sitting. But if a man just can't sit and be lazy, if he's being lazy, that's not a man. You know what I'm trying to say? Because a man by nature knows what he has to do, whether he loses something or not. And just like Burr was saying earlier, even though you got a lot of things against you and a lot of things going against you, we still find a way. You know what I'm trying to say? We still find a way. It may not be enough at the time, but it's something. You know what I'm trying to say? He does something. So for him to be sitting around and just moping, no, that's not what a man do. So no. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So let me bring this next question to the ladies and gentlemen. Please hold your response until they answer. Patsy, question is, if the man chooses to leave his woman and his child, leave the home, should he still be responsible for the care of both the woman and child?
Yes, he should still be responsible for the woman and child, especially the child, since he had created that child with that woman. Well, financially for the woman, definitely. Yeah. That's my answer.
Okay. Itima, if the man chooses to leave his home, should he be responsible for the care of both the mother and child?
So is this a married couple and the guy decides to leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
So if it's a married couple, yeah, it's his responsibility to take care of that woman and that child.
So
he decides to step out.
So what if they're not married?
He needs to take care of his child.
So in either case. Okay, got you. I hear you. Duchess, same question.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
If a man chooses to leave his home, is he responsible for the care of both the mother and the child?
Hell yeah. He gets off scot-free?
No.
Absolutely not. Next.
Tanya, same question. If the man chooses to leave his home, should he be responsible for the care of both the mother and the child?
Well, I'm gonna say if they was a married couple, then I'm going to say yes. If they were not married, I'm going to say he got to still take care of the child. Now, going back to the married couple, if he left because of adultery, then I'm going to say he needs to take care of the kid.
Timmy, same question, 2 minutes or less. If the man
Now I feel that all the women that said that if they were married, then he's supposed to take care of her. Cool. And the kid. Cool. Married, not married, your only responsibility is the kid, not her. You don't have no ties to her. You ain't never been married to her, so you only take care of the kid. Now, if you was married, then you got to take care of the kid and her because she has to take care of herself and the kid.
All right, Bird, you answer the question.
There's a side of me that said there's absolutely no way I'm taking care of another woman I'm not with. I'm not that by nature. I do understand the concept. Now, am I, whether adulterous or not, but I don't believe I'm expected. Now she moved on with another guy, and I'm supposed to support this. I don't believe I will be in that way, any shape or form. I think if the relationship's over, unfortunately, it's over. But the child should be provided for 120%, without being dragged through court, without getting dragged down, destroyed by the government, right, and broken down to your very last compound by the government. It is his responsibility to care for the child, but I don't believe for the woman.
No.
It's on you, Gregory.
I think that is circumstantial. Why should he be paying for the mother unless they was like some type of medical problem going on or something? You get what I'm saying? I believe that the kid should be the priority.
Sean, same question.
Off of my experience, I'll give you my short testimony. I was in a situation like that too. I was once married and I decided to leave. And when I left for the next 6 years, I did take care of the household and the whole household in general because I left. And once she moved on or was okay with us not getting back together, this, that, and the other, my responsibilities, as far as we agreed, were over.
Dude, it's on you.
What's the question again?
If the man chooses to leave his home, should he be responsible for the care of both the woman and the child?
If he's married, yes. If they're just dating or just with boyfriend and girlfriend, no, but always the child. And
yes.
And yeah, that's it.
Kiana, the next question is, are both men and women still vital components to the family structure?
What?
Are both mom and dad still vital components to the family structure?
I believe so. I mean, with family dynamics changing so much, I mean, circumstances say that there's only one parent, so you have to do what you have to do, but it should be both parents. But in the situation of, there's abuse, then it might have to be one parent. So, I mean, it depends on the situation, but it should be that way. It should be two loving people taking care of their responsibilities, but that doesn't always happen.
It could be failure.
Patsy, same question.
I and should they? Yes, both parents should be a vital part of the raising up of the family. But if there's only a single parent, like how my mother was, and no dad in the picture, so she was the only vital person in the raising of us. That's it.
Same
Mm-hmm.
question. Tanya.
I agree with Kiana.
All right. Itima. Itima.
I'm in agreement with the ladies.
All right. So let me hit y'all with the next question. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get the guys. Sorry. Yes. Same question.
Okay, so we have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? If you take any one of those out the equation, can you create life? You can't. Can't. A family is only structured the way the Most High says it's structured, and that's just wrote down in plain that that's what it is. So, father, a wife, and a child, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, they all need to be together to create. We understand in this system how things are, how it tears us apart, but we also got to understand the same tactics that we use for our women to do what they did to them were used against us in our way too. We all had hurdles in front of us to stop us from doing what we needed to do. So we got to stop blaming each other and just do what we have to do. Live our word, not their word.
Bert, same question. Is the father and mother still vital components of the family structure?
I believe absolutely is the only way to success. Unfortunately, there are circumstances that, like Patsy said, men aren't in the household, and it forces our women to be mom, dad, protector, provider, nurturer, hunter, all of that. So big up to all of the women that are out there playing dual roles out there and still bringing up good people. But unfortunately, that single parent life statistically is not a successful raising of a child. It's not much success. There is, I'm not saying there's nobody, but many
That's
people,
1 out of 5.
right. And that's what I'm saying. If it is, if it ain't, it's still good. Not all, but what proves the vitality, the vitalness of both parents playing their role.
Like it. Gregory, are both the man and women still
I
vital?
wasn't called on yet.
Gregory, are both mom and dad still vital components of the family structure?
Yes, that's what I've been alluding to all night. That it's a union between man and woman. It's the union of creation. It's not even just anything else. It's what makes us like God. Get what I'm the ability to create and to have the knowledge of it is different. So once you break up that union and you're living in chaos, you have a whole bunch of selfish needs put behind everything else. Everything else is like an excuse of some type of selfishness. Even if you break up, y'all not being able to come together for the child is crazy. Somebody's being selfish.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, yeah,
Sean,
you're right.
same question.
Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
The question is, are both mom and dad still vital components to the family structure?
Very much so. And I agree with everything that Gregory just said.
Right.
But yes.
Patsy, the question is, um, if the family receives public assistance, does it give the government the right to govern both the family and the spending of the assistance, financial assistance?
To an extent, it can intervene on what you're spending the money on, but not 100% of the money.
Time.
So the rent, the bills, food with the food stamps. But if there was anything that you wanted to put aside for extra, things like a birthday party or something like that, yeah, you kind of had to manage your own money.
Tanya?
I'm gonna say no, they don't have a right. They're the reason why some of these people, some of us have to get on welfare. They haven't raised minimum wage in I don't know how many years. They got the fathers. They separated the households, taking the men out by putting them in jail and getting them hooked on drugs from the war. So no, they don't have a right.
Right. Itima? Itima? You gotta turn your mic on.
Yeah, she's on
What's
pause.
the question again?
The question is, if the family receives public assistance, does the government have the right to govern both the family and the spending of the financial assistance?
No.
Duchess? Oh, excuse me. You gonna go ahead.
Nope, that's it. That's it. No.
Duchess?
Yeah.
If the family receives public assistance, does it give the government the right to govern both the family and the spending of the public assistance?
What? If the family is receiving public assistance, does it give the what? The government the right to say what's going on in the household?
You got it.
I mean, if you take something from somebody, there's rules to it. So, yeah.
Thank you, God, Mom, because that's all I'm over here thinking.
You open the doors for that.
Law,
you open
Black
the
people
doors for
always
that.
looking for a handout.
Ain't nothing for free.
And you see what happens
No,
after?
it ain't. They got to get on their feet.
You signed up to make somebody, listen, basically you signed up to make somebody a legal slave anyway.
There's rules and stipulations
that person
for
gotta pay them back.
everything that you borrow.
But because back in the days, Black people was always looking for a come up, and you had somebody in their ear like, yeah, y'all go ahead and collect that money and make it look like he don't live here and all this other craziness. Not
that
knowing
was scams. That was scams
part
that
of
was
the
going
Willie
on.
Lynch. No, it's order, Uncle T. It's order coming from these wicked people. It's wickedness, but we're falling for it. We're not seeing the trickery. People signing off on a dotted line for this whole way of life and then complaining about it after. You can't do that.
Bird, same question.
I think they. I mean, I'm torn, but I'm understanding everything that everybody's saying. That it was designed. Public assistance was designed to break families apart.
Yeah.
The Black family to drive the man out the home in order to get help because it was hard for the man, right? It was hard for him to provide. So there was assistance out there. But in order to get assistance, you either had to report who this man is, and guess what? They want their money.
Lie.
Everything they giving you, they're gonna go after him to get it back. So you try to keep him out.
And what's that be? Legal slavery.
Lying. Saying you didn't know who the father, where he was.
Bird, was you finished?
Not yet. And again, if you do get public assistance, there does need to be order because if I'm the government, I'm not giving you money to go buy crap and your kids don't eat. You know what I'm saying? If you mismanage the assistance, then there needs to be a process or there needs to be some steps to ensure that the appropriation of the finances given is made right with, like your bills are paid, your kids got clothes, and they give you other stuff. They give you clothing vouchers and all this stuff. Not to go buy drugs or go get your hair done or go do whatever you do with that money. If it, there needs to be order on where that money needs to be appropriated.
All right, well said.
That's
Sean?
where they cause the divide and conquer. Do that shit right there.
Sean?
Yes, I believe that if a family is receiving assistance from the government, that there should be some regulations to it, and it has to be regulations because that's the way the government is able to track where their funds are actually being spent the most.
You, same question.
Well, that was the whole plan for them doing that for us, because when they were doing it for the others, they weren't making those rules and regulations. In order for us to be on it, they had to have rules and regulations, and that's what they wanted to do, is split our families apart. And the question is why did they want to split our families apart? Because we're so powerful together.
To keep us down.
Mm-hmm.
Patsy, here's the next question. Is it the responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, and respect for the family and community?
I think it's the parents to start off with for the moral well-being of your family, and the community should be helping, because to raise a child it needs a village to raise a child. So it's really starts at home at first, but you got everybody in the village to help them with raising the whole village of children, to make sure that they're being raised up with good morals, and as that child, or that the children that are not choosing as they go into the teenage years, into adulthood, and they're not with good morals because of their choices. The parent and the community done did their job. It's now, as they're an adult, they're choosing to turn the other cheek on their morals.
Tanya, same question. You gotta turn your mic on, T.
Repeat the question.
The question is it the responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, respect for the family and community?
I'm gonna say it's the family and the community around the family. You sending your kids to school to learn. And the way that it is now, you can't always depend on the school system to teach your kids the morals and values that you want them to learn.
Itima, same question.
Go ahead, Tanya. You said it in your mouthful right there. That was it.
I agree with Tanya.
Duchess, same question, Kiana. Is it the responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, respect?
Don't even finish the question. It's the parents. Don't get me on that. Like if it don't
Tell
start at
him,
home,
Kiana.
how the hell is it going to start anywhere else? Next question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bird, is it the responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, and respect for the family and community?
Well, I believe it's a group effort. It's the responsibility of both entities, because there's some things that we can't teach that schools are teaching, and there's some things that schools can't teach that home is teaching. So I believe in a combined effort. Schools and parents need to work together in unity to build this person up, because we're not educated teachers to teach everything.
Gregory, same question.
I want to go ahead and say you gave that opportunity up once you decided you didn't want to teach your kid anymore. You wanted to send them to school because, in all actuality, the school has all the control after you start sending your kid to this school. You got to get them vaccinated. You got to follow their curriculum. What morals do you have? We can teach your kid identity, gender type classes. And if you got a problem with it, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna call the police on you. You don't have no control over this situation. Your kid can get mad at you and say, "Listen, mom, dad, you not there. You know how these kids be. You know what happens. They've been called the cops on their parents, and they went to school the next day, and that's it. That's it for you as a parent because you didn't want to raise them. You didn't want to install these things into them yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Sean, same question. Is the responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, and respect for the family and community?
I'm with the group of panelists that believes that everything starts at home, and what they learn at home, they can take it out once they get to school. And the school, and as Bird says, it should be a collaborative effort in bringing up our children to make our society what it is. I mean, it's crazy now, but if school and home was to work together, I think we would be a better place.
That's why they have open house for the parents and the teachers to connect.
They
That's
have
right.
open house to tell
That's
you how
right.
stupid your kid is and what he's feeling.
That's not true.
Dude,
That is
same
supposed to
question.
be connection for the family, mother and father, and the teachers, so they can keep that kid on pace. Whether he failing, we gonna give him extra help. If he's passing, let's keep him on that.
Dude, it's on you, dude. Is it the
Oh,
responsibility of the school system or the parents to instill morals, values, respect for both the family and community?
oh, it definitely starts at home, and I'm not looking for the school system to stop, let alone the morals and all this other stuff. Because today their morals, as like Greg was saying, you see what their morals are now. He, she, they, everything else, but this one and that one, Jack and Jill, and all this other stuff. That's not the place for school.
Mhm.
That's a place for private.
Okay. All right, ladies, turn your mic back on. Kiana, we're gonna go to you first. If the child is lacking discipline, who shall be held accountable, mom or dad?
Both. If the man's out there providing umpteen hours, is she supposed to wait till he comes home to discipline the child?
Okay. Patsy, same answer, same question. I mean,
I was about to say, Kiana, your phone broke away.
I asked the question. I mean, I asked the question in my question. Like, is that supposed to be what we're doing? We're waiting till dad gets home to discipline.
Right.
Let's say he works out of state. We wait in a week, a month for him to be disciplined, him or her to be disciplined. No, it's both parents. Parents
Patsy,
better stop being kids' friends and be a parent.
Patsy, same question.
With a two parent home, it's both parents because if I gotta wait 5 hours for you to come home and And the child started acting up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's not a school day. Yeah, the mother should be able to discipline that child. My mother had out continuously said to us as kids, me and my siblings, I'm the parent, you're the child. You do as I tell you, otherwise you're gonna get an ass whooping. So
Itama,
there's that. Then you
Itama
might
said,
get another butt whooping when your father gets home.
right? Itama, same question.
Hmm.
The child should be disciplined right when they do it. This is how they learn. So you're not supposed to wait for the next party to be around. If the child does something they're not supposed to do, you correct it. Pop them right there and then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So translation, where you act up is where you're gonna get smacked up.
Yep.
Um, Tanya, same question.
I'm whooping ass and wiping tears later.
Oh.
Yep.
Bert. Bert, try to
Yep.
help him out. Who who should be responsible if the child is lacking discipline, mom or dad?
Um, we're talking both parties are involved. And like you said, there could be an instant situation that needs to be handled. Doesn't necessarily mean someone's got to get popped, but mom is there. It happened. Mom's going to stand her ground. And then guess what? When dad gets home, he's going to follow up too. We're going to revisit this situation and maybe decide if as a team, we sit down and we decide what's the next step moving forward with you and your behavior and how to correct it. I believe both parents should be responsible for handling a situation. I can get with Kiana. I think back then I whoop ass and wipe tears, but we're living in a different time. That's not the way.
Gregory, same question.
Yeah, I agree with the panel. Mom and dad should be responsible, but there's those special cases where this guy might just be chemically unbalanced and it's not even their fault.
Sean, same question. Should it who should be held accountable, mom or dad, when the child is lacking discipline?
Equal opportunity. Both should get a piece of that.
Mm. Dude,
I agree with most of them. Yep, it's going on right then and there, nip it in the bud right then and there, and then when the father get home, let him know what happened. But if it's something small and it didn't get out of hand, she checked it and it's an understanding. Then as long as she got it under control, because the women from the age of when the child is from the age of 1 to 5 today is more because they're single parents, but even in the marriage household, the child is more with the mother from the time it was born to the age of 5 because in everything it learns in the first most of the 5 years are through the mother.
huh? Timmy, same question. Whose responsibility is it to make sure that the child has discipline?
You already know. If it's a female, the mother pertains to the discipline. If it's a boy, that's what I've always known. That's what I was growing up on, and that's all I know.
So the next question, ladies, Patsy, I'm gonna come to you first. Um, whose responsibility is it to make sure that your child becomes gainfully employed? Is it mom or dad's responsibility?
Um, I think it's when there's both parents. I believe it's both parents' responsibility to show them how to get a job, what the different job trainings are out there, so they can both encourage in different ways on to getting their child um employed very well, or be knowledgeable on how to get that interview, the way to speak to people. It's all about little steps as they growing up anyways, from childhood to their time where they're entering the workforce. So there's a lot of skills they're already learning as they going along while being raised.
Itzema, is it the mother or the father's responsibility to make sure that their child finds a job?
It's both of our responsibility, but in the event that the household is being ran the correct way, the kids will just follow suit. When they get to that certain age, they're just gonna be asking. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna just be like, "Yo, I like to work. You know, can you bring me?" You know, they'd be doing it on their own.
Tanya, is it
I
the
agree with Ethema because my kids came to me when they was ready to work, and furthermore, I took them to work with me. So whenever I did catering and they was of age to be able to make them some money, I took them with me so that they can make money
Exactly.
and learn the skills of the workforce. Did my interviews and all of that.
Duchess, same question. Whose responsibility is it, the mother or the father's, to make sure that the child finds a job?
I mean, how old is the child? I mean, are they still in school? School should be the number one priority. If are they older? What do we talk about?
Depending on your scenario, the you know where they
I
are.
mean, let's say the child is a teen and they want a job. Then it's everybody. I mean, it's everybody's job to support the child. So if the mother is the better resume writer, then we go with that. If the father's good on, these are the questions that they'll ask you in an interview, then he's mock interviewing the child. So I mean, it's a team effort.
Gregory, whose responsibility is it, mom or dad, to make sure that the child has a job?
I believe it's both. Like I've been alluding to all night. It's a union. You gotta have both pieces to the puzzle to make it work.
Bird, same question.
I mean, if we're still staying in the characteristic of the family, it is more of the responsibility of the protector and the provider, because that child has been watching this man get up every day, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week, get up, go to work every day, take care of the family. So it starts as a learned behavior. Now, again, we're talking in the situation of the traditional family where you do have both parents. Yeah, at that point where that child is ready to get out and work, everything in the family relies on both parents. Both parents play a big role, but the learning experience where this child even knows what a job is, he may be learning that from his dad.
Okay. Like it. Sean, same question.
Question was, should a man or woman teach,
Yeah,
be responsible?
whose responsibility is it to make certain that the child has a job? All right, hold tight, Sean. We're gonna come back to you. Do same question. Whose responsibility is it to make sure that the child gets a job? Mom or dad?
I would say I would say it's depending on the situation, but I would mainly say if it's a two household, I would say it's definitely the father. But if it's either way, if it's two household or not, it definitely should be the father to make sure that he is. And if it's definitely a one family house, usually single parent, a mother, she's gonna have to do it because he ain't around to do it.
Okay, got it.
And his uncles around and stuff like that. The other guys around in the family should encourage it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sean, are you back with us?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Give your answer.
Dude, thanks for that. That the dude took the words right out of my mouth. I like that. But yeah, I believe that it's the father's responsibility to teach his children how to be independent and be able to provide for themselves, get themselves a job, and yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. All right, Patsy. So we're gonna start with you with the next question. Once a child becomes gainfully employed and they still reside within the home, is it their responsibility to contribute to the household expenses?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. Tanya, same question.
I'm gonna say yes. That's how you teaching them how to take care of things on their own when they get out there.
Okay. Itima,
Repeat the question, please.
once a child becomes gainfully employed, gets a job, and they still living in your home, is it their responsibility to contribute to the household expenses?
Yes, you should be able to show that kid how to be responsible so when they do move on their own, they should be able to hold their own. So yes.
Okay. Kiana, once a child becomes gainfully employed, is it the child's responsibility to contribute to the household's expenses?
I mean, it depends on your household. I mean, again, how old is this child? If he's a teenager or he's in school, then he should be saving his money so that when he gets on his when he really has to get out in the real world, he has something to a egg to play with. I mean, if your household is so
Kiana,
bad that you
you
have
hit
to
the
take from
nail
your
on the
kid,
head.
if your household is down bad and you have to take from your kid, what are you giving that kid? How are you giving them a leg up in the world? I don't know.
All right, same question.
I here's how I feel. I was in this situation and my children are working, and I am gonna have you put some money towards the house.
I'm
Until
sorry, can I finish?
Oh, I didn't know
Go
you
ahead,
was. I'm
go
sorry,
ahead
kid.
there.
That's all right. Um, yes, like if they have a cell phone, they should be contributing to their cell phone so they learn the meaning of paying a bill. But again, I feel like they should be able to put money aside so that when they get out in the real world, they have something to give them a leg up.
Okay. All right.
again, I feel like yes, I would have you contribute to household responsibilities, but I would be putting that money to the side for when you are ready. I may pop you a check for like $5,000. Whatever you put in, you'll be getting back. But it's, you making your child believe it's going towards responsibilities in a household, which
Mm-hmm.
whether it is or not, they're getting the same experience, right? So just
Right.
because your money is coming out you kicking in money for the crib doesn't mean it's going to the crib. But so you're still getting the same lesson learned. So at the end of the day, when you're ready to move on or you want to buy a car, all this money you've been giving me, I'm going to pull back and say, here you go, let's get you that car. Here you go. We got first and last months and some furniture and some whatever. Oh, I thought that went to the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but that was the lesson you taught. You're still teaching them to be responsible and pay to the house, but you should be putting that money to the side. So when that kid's ready to glide, he got a little something to glide with.
Right.
Gregory.
Once again, because we're a conquered people, everybody is chasing the American dream. It's the way of the world. It's what you have to do. So when you get out there, if you're not a wealthy family, because these wealthy families, they don't even really need for their kids to work. They're passing down their businesses or showing them the ropes, like Bird was saying for the last question. So it's kind of crazy that we're all just chasing this goddamn system. It's a system. It's a systematic way of thinking. But yeah, it's true.
John? Yes. John?
Sorry about that. Yep, I'm here. The question was, should a child be able to provide contribute to the household?
Yes. Yes.
The way that I was brought up, I had a job and I contributed to the house, but my parents, what they ended up doing that when the time came around for me to leave, all that money that I thought I was giving to them, that I was thought I was contributing to, they handed that back to me. And my dad actually had a statement one time when I thought I was big and bad and thought that because I was paying something that I should have been, I could be doing X, Y, and Z. And he said, "Let me tell you something. This household's been operating long before you started giving your little $80 a week. Your $80
Right, like
a
you
week
gotta
ain't
say
doing
what goes
nothing
on in
here."
the house. Because you
Right,
don't let
right.
no say nothing.
And so, but to answer the question, I do believe um, that they should contribute only because of the principle of trying to teach them how to be responsible for where they stay.
All right,
You
dude, it's
hit it
on
on the
you.
nail.
Dude.
Oh no, I agree with him because that's exactly what you do. You take it and then you give it back. And the only time you use any part of it if they put you over your budget on stuff that they're costing for, stuff they charging up for. That's the only time I would take it out. But other than that, they would get it all back.
Timmy, it's on you.
Now, I agree with my brother Sean, and I agree with Bird, and I agree with Dude. Because our generation, we are the second generations of our parents, right? So our generation, we learned a lot of shit coming from our elders. Stuff that we needed to know and stuff that we didn't need to know. But
Minute.
we all of us,
Timmy, 10 seconds.
have the same morals that our parents was brought up on, where it was one. The family is number one. So we all grew up on that, and we all apply it to our kids today.
Okay. All right, guys. Again, we're gonna have to keep these answers short right now because like I said, we're rapidly approaching the end time. Patsy, the next question is, regardless of your child's age, should you redirect them when you see that they have lost their way and they are traveling a road that they should not travel?
Yes, you should try to redirect, but if they're not heeding to your redirection, you gotta allow them to
Crash
Crash
out.
travel the bumpy road.
Okay. Tanya, same question.
Yes, you try to direct them. If they don't heed your advice, only thing you can do is pray.
Okay. Itima, same question. Itzma, turn your mic on.
I agree with the ladies.
Okay. Kiana?
Yes, you should try, but I agree with Tanya. Only thing you could do is pray, and hopefully the damage isn't too bad when they crash and burn.
Okay. Bird, same question.
You don't want to take no accountability in this at all. I believe the same. Daniel's cracking it open right now. Life sometimes got to whoop your kid's ass. You don't have to do it all the time. Life whooped on us to get us. Sometimes we had to take a whooping out there to learn. All we're trying to do as parents is put our children in a position where they don't have to make the same mistakes we does, as our parents did the same for us. But we thought we knew it all. Now I don't want to listen to that shit. I don't want to do that shit. Okay, let life whoop your ass a little bit. You're going to look back and say, damn, mom was right. Damn, dad knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Exactly.
That's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? Let life teach them more than you can, because sometimes they too grown for their britches, or they get to a point in age where you can't tell them shit because we all been there. Okay, go ahead. I'm here for you. I'll still be here for you, not to tell you I told you so, because you're going to know so when you come back to me with your tail between your legs like shit. So you got to let life whoop on them.
Gregory, same question.
I agree with Bird. He said it great.
All right. Sean, same question.
Yes, definitely. Parenting doesn't stop until either one of the two parties are in the ground.
Oh, couldn't have said it better. Dude,
Well, you always should give wisdom to your children. You got when they're heading down the wrong road. Even if they're 30 or 40 years old, you always, that's your job. So Sean says, until you leave, that's your job. That's going to be your job. You know what I'm trying to say? You know when to step back, you know when to intervene, but that's always going to be your job.
Timmy.
I agree with my brothers.
All right. Spin the block. Come back to the girls real quick, guys. Hold tight. This is a very important question, so I want you to listen to it. All right. Who shall restore order to the family structure? The elders? Should the elders be responsible for restoring order to the family structure? That's a do you agree or disagree question. Patsy, do you agree or disagree that the elders should restore order to the family structure?
Yes, I agree with that. If there are any elders left.
There will always be an elder. Because whoever is older, the oldest is going to be the elder. So yes, I got your answer. I hear you. T. Same question, Tanya.
I'm gonna say the only person who can restore the order is the one who created the order.
Okay. And you ain't say less. Itima, same question. Turn your mic on.
Yeah.
Should the elders be the ones to restore order to the family structure?
Yes, because that's how the order is put out.
Okay. Kiana?
I mean, what if the elder that's still there is chaotic? So I think everybody should be trying to restore some kind of order to the family. But in the ultimate scheme of things, God is the order of the family.
Okay. Bird, same question.
I believe if the man was doing his job, there will be no law order. Order is maintained throughout the livelihood of that family. Even a healthy family, if the man has gone out the home, he should still have an authority say. But that doesn't really happen in the real world. But if we're talking this family's together, married, whatever, order does not come out of key because the man maintains order. Now, there's sometimes that man lost his seat at that throne.
Right.
That's my order has gone awry, or he made a mistake and made some choices in life that the family, you there, but you ain't there, and you ain't got the respect as the alpha, the protector, and the provider. So it may be time for that person to go.
Oh,
Saw you, Gregory.
Well, when you're talking about a whole family, I think that elders should be looked at as some type of order, because if you lose one of the elders, then people want to come together and shouldn't have to do it like that. You should be able to already listen to the people older than you, anyways. It creates some type of order going all the way down as it trickles down in the pyramid effect.
Sean?
I ain't listening to a crackhead uncle.
Sean?
right.
I've heard you. It was
Elder
answered
got
two different ways. Are you saying elder or eldest?
Elders.
Elders.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I believe the elders should try to restore order because if they're the elders for a reason.
Dude?
Well, I'm glad this was the topic of the whole thing, and I'm glad you ended it like this because this is what's going on right now. The Most High is restoring order. The elders can't do it. We can't do it. He's doing it himself. So when he does it, everyone knows it's going to be him who's doing it. And this is why the world's going through what it's going through right now, because he's restoring things back to its proper order.
Stay right with you, dude.
Amen. Amen.
I'm gonna hit you with the next question. Are the women of the village responsible for rebuking their sons their sons and brothers when they mistreat the mothers of their children?
Say that last part again. My fault.
Are the women of the community, village, responsible for rebuking their sons and brothers when they mistreat the mothers of their children?
They can do it, but it should be the man to do that. It should be the man to check. It should be the elder man to check them for that, not the elder woman. If the elder man ain't around and she sees it, yeah, like we said with the kids, she's the elder woman, so if she sees a man, which the man should be checking another man, but she's the elder woman and she sees a man do it, check him. You know what I'm trying to say? And then if he gets out of line, then the other men should protect her. Like, hold on, she's right. She's an elder, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It's the men that should be held accountable for that.
Okay. All right. Timmy, 20 seconds. Should the women of the village check the sons and brothers when they mistreat the mothers of their children? 20 seconds.
Of course. I check my own uncle trying to check my mother. God damn it, you don't do that shit because that's how I was brought up. The man protects the woman.
Sean?
Yes, they should be able to have a voice their opinion on the matter.
Gregory, 20 seconds.
I'm gonna say yes with any woman, even other than your baby's mother. And I agree with dude too, that the men should be able to correct them.
Okay. 20 seconds, Bird.
I got lost. I don't know what just happened.
Should the women of the village check their sons and brothers when they mistreat the mothers of their children?
I think they should not get involved in that.
Okay. All right. We did all the guys. We're gonna go to the girls. Let's get their opinions. Kiana?
Yeah, what's the question?
Should the women of the village check the sons and brothers when they mistreat the mothers of their children?
Should everybody needs a check, whether it's from a female or a male? Yes, they should.
Okay. Patsy?
I believe yes. If there are no elder men around to check that particular male, and whether it's the son or brother of the child, then yes, they should check those men that are mistreating the mother of the children, and then tell the elder men when they're in the presence of everybody.
Tanya?
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right. Kiana, the question is, what's destroying the family structure and who will be responsible for revitalizing it?
Everybody's responsible. Please, what is it destroying the family structure? Media, drugs, alcohol, men hating women, women hating men. It's a whole conundrum.
Social media.
Oh, social media too.
Patsy?
There's a number of things that are destroying it. It's social media, your peers, and I think the strongest link in your family or in your social group that's been through whatever situation that is destroying it, they need to help bring that destruction back to order.
Okay. Gregory, same question.
I think it's ignorance and the lack thereof. No unity. People not being able to know how for things. So it's a whole lot of things that we sign up for that we don't realize we're signing up for it, and now we're in it, and then we look back and we analyze it, and it's no way to actually move forward until we come together again.
Bird, 30 seconds. What's destroying the family structure and who is responsible for rebuilding it?
Social media is destroying us. Friends are destroying it. The government has destroyed it. And I don't know if there's repair because many families just don't bounce back.
Okay. Itzma,
Yes.
go ahead.
A lot of families, a lot of us, we're not putting God first.
That's a great answer. Sean?
Yep, I'm with Ithba. No Godhead that they want to follow is what's destroying the families. And until we get back on that track, that's what's going to put it back together.
Yeah, y'all dropping jewels, giving us something to remember the show about. Dude, you get to take us home, brother. What's destroying the family and who will be responsible for rebuilding it?
Satan destroyed it, and the Most High is restoring it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. God bless you. See you next week.